Final account can be defined to mean a financial document prepared after the certificate of practical completion is awarded. There are two main reasons in preparing a final account, which are to state the final contract sum from the original contract sum after considering all the variation works involved, and to certify the balance to be paid to the respected parties involved. Below are the contents of final accounts, which are contract particulars, statement of final account, final certificate, variation works, appendices which include certified interim payment, letter of extension of time, certificate of practical completion. The final account is often regarded as a dull and tedious chore, but it need not be if we consider the requirements of the parties who require it, establish a basis framework of presentation, and regard it as a means of budgetary control. The parties who have an interest in the final account are contractor, who must be satisfied that all items have been properly included and valued, client, who must be satisfied that he is being asked to pay for only those items of work or services for which he contracted, and that the account is in accordance with the contract and there is no evidence of negligence or fraud. Lastly, consultants, who will wish the final account to be in a form which they can easily check and from which they can readily calculate their fee account. Period of final measurement is provided in each contract, normally 6 months, and the quantity surveyor is required to complete his final account and present it to the contractor within that period. Delays in settlement of the final account are a cost to the contractor, and most cases the employer also eager to know his ultimate financial commitment. These are the situations in order to obtain the final certificate according to PWD form, which the process only started after the issuance of Certificate of Practical Completion. It is responsible of the contractor to submit all the claim documents to the superintending officer for the purpose of preparing final account within 3 months after Certificate of Practical Completion. An inspection of the work will be conducted by the superintending officer. If there is no further defects, the final certificate must be issued within 3 months after expiry of defect liability period. Therefore, if the inspection reveals outstanding defects found after end of defect liability period, the superintending officer will immediately prepare a schedule of defects that can be issued to the contractor within 14 days. After that, the contractor must make good to the defects with the 3 months. The certificate must be issued within 3 months after the issuance of the completion of making good defects. In the PAM contract, the contractor is responsible to make all claims for the preparation of the final account, then submitted within 6 months after issuance of the Certificate of Practical Completion. After the architect receives all the necessary documents, the final account must be completed with 6 months. Unfortunately, if there are disputes happen, the provision sets out the procedure in case of disagreement by either party. After the 3 months receiving the final account, either party can send notice stating the ground of disputes to other parties, alongside with copies for architect and quantity surveyor. Within 3 months, quantity surveyor and architect will decide to amend the final account or not. The next 3 months after receiving decision, the disagreeing parties can reverse the dispute to arbitration or consider the decision made agreed by both parties. The penultimate certificate can be issued within 14 days after the issuance of the completion of making good defects. In this case, the final certificate is issued 21 days after the period honoring certificate. Thus, is not stated in the appendix, the period of honoring certificate is 21 days from the date of the certificate. Therefore, if there is no penultimate certificate, the final certificate is issued within 28 days after the issuance of completion of making good defects. Here is the example. PWD 66A Statement of Final Account inclusive of Final Certificate. Another example given is PAM Statement of Final Account is separate from its Final Certificate.